Hi, I'm Monica and this is Darren. With virtually no boating experience, we decided to sell our house and everything that went with it to buy a boat and live on the water. Together with our dog, Captain Kaya, we're preparing to cast our lines and cruise to the warmth of the southern islands. So climb aboard and come with us as we go seeking adventure.
Where are we headed?
Alright, so we are headed to a tiny little island that's not too far from our boat, and we're gonna go and do some exploring since we're stuck here in Titusville. That's our plan for
Stuck in Titusville. It could be worse, right?
It could be worse. Yep. So here we are at this island in Titusville. I have no idea what it's called, but it's obviously a fairly popular place because there's lots of people here. It is a Sunday, but it's really cool to be at a place that we can only get to with our dinghy. So yeah, it's pretty, but there's really not much to do other than just relax. So that's what we're planning on doing.
Cuando la encuentre de ti no me voy a acordar. El día que me falte tu piel, ¿qué será? ¿Qué será de mí? No seas parte de mi amanecer. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será de mí? Ahora con quién voy a compartir todas mis noches húmedas.
So here we are, stuck at some remote island in Titusville.
Yeah, it's not too remote, but it's
No.
kind of cool to be on. We're stuck because we have electrical issues we need to take care of. So we're making the most of our Sunday while we wait for the electrician tomorrow.
And it is remote in that respect that you have to have a boat to get to it.
Yeah, you have to have a boat to get to it. We've actually been here once before, many years ago. We took our paddle boards here
Yeah.
and paddled around the island, but we didn't get off and get on it. So a lot of bioluminescence here at the right time of year.
Como eso de serme fiel. El día que me falte tu piel. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será?
How many disasters have we had since we left the boat?
No disasters, Monica. Just challenges. And we had quite a few. We've never been to an island before with the dog, and we beached the boat really well. We just had some issues with gas.
And a big part of it was me driving. That was my second time driving the dinghy. I need to practice that some more. So the engine stalled twice, but the first time it wasn't my fault. It was we ran out of gas in the middle of the channel where it is the busiest, of course. So that was stressful. And then there was a little bit of fuel spillage as we went from one can to another. So that was a challenge to make sure everything got put up.
Well, but here's the issue again. I bought a new connector for that hose. I put it on the tank, made the assumption that it would fit, and it didn't.
Yeah.
So when we went to switch from one tank to the other one, it didn't fit. So then we had to take the connector off the first tank, put it on the second tank, and there was enough pressure built up in the tank that, yeah, we lost a little fuel in the boat.
Right. So
That's what we're doing now. We're cleaning it out.
and it really wasn't that much fuel,
No.
but it smells horrible, and it is so strong. It's very difficult to get rid of that fuel smell. And then we had one more challenge, which was totally on me. When we came back again, we stalled in the middle of the channel. I had, I don't even know what it's called, but there's a little button in the back that
Little
you...
safety string.
No, it wasn't the safety string, it was the thing that you turn. I had it to start, and I never turned it over to go, whatever that setting is over there. So that was on me. So Darren was actually paddling.
And not making much progress either. I tried to paddle for about like 60 seconds, and then I implored Monica to try to turn the engine back on, and thank goodness it came on.
Yeah, because then I saw it.
We'd still be out there paddling.
Yeah, you made progress. It was either your paddling or it was the current.
I think it was the current. The curse of Horseshoe Crab Island behind us, we took the dinghy in to Titusville. Titusville suffered from both autumn hurricanes, Ian and Nicole. Many boats were sunk or beached. The evidence of that is still on display outside of the municipal marina where we stayed for several days. But what we'll remember most from our time at Horseshoe Crab Island and Titusville are the beautiful sunsets and sunrises.
Nos hablamos pero no nos vemos. Baby, hace tiempo que yo estoy pa' ti y tú hace tiempo que ya estás pa' mí. Cuando pongo una de Nicky me acuerdo de ti. Las noches son más largas si estoy sin ti. Y vamos pa'l party después.
We only stayed a few days in Titusville, doing boat repairs and waiting out a storm. When we got the opportunity to leave, we headed further south, making tracks towards Biscayne Bay.
¿Qué pasa, siervo? Que no entienden nada. No somos exclusivas, pero solo me lo da. No queremos títulos más. Disfrutar es la prioridad. Aunque pase el tiempo, nunca cambiará. Llámame a las 9, a las 8 estaré allá. No queremos títulos más. Disfrutar es la prioridad. Hace tiempo que no nos comemos. Nos hablamos, pero no nos vemos. Baby, hace tiempo que yo estoy pa' ti. Tú hace tiempo que estás pa' mí. Hace tiempo que no lo prendemos. Nos hablamos pero no nos vemos. Baby, hace tiempo que yo estoy pa' ti y tú hace tiempo que ya estás pa' mí. Tímida pero no es santa. Tira esas cenizas al fuego. Modélame minifalda. Tranqui que se la quito luego, pero callao. Que eres un error que íbamos a cometer. No vamos a sellar, es solamente comernos. Pero se disfruta si se siente placer. Vamos a verlo. Nunca he visto mi lado. Somos como Lego.
Although we're not sure what officially designates South Florida, a couple days travel south and the scenery changed dramatically. The water got bluer, the houses got bigger, and the boats became more numerous. We certainly weren't in Jacksonville any longer.
So where are we going today?
Today is a short day just to Fort Lauderdale. We have one more day from Fort Lauderdale down to where we want to be in Miami, and tomorrow and the next day are supposed to be bad travel days, 30-mile-an-hour winds, so we won't travel. So we're hoping to get to a good anchorage in Fort Lauderdale where we're protected. We have 3 different options, and we're just going to stop at the first one, and the second one, and the third one. Hopefully the first one does it. We don't have to keep going. But then from there, it'll be a short day down to where we need to be in Miami on probably Wednesday.
We're having an anchor beer because we did make it to our first anchor spot. And hats off to Darren. I'm always much more nervous than you are. But he basically just kind of came in here like he owned the place and said, we're anchoring right in the middle where it shows on my chart that there's a little anchor spot.
Yeah.
There are boats around us.
We didn't do anything that we shouldn't have done. We're evenly spaced with the other boats that are already here. There just happened to be a spot in the middle.
But we're kind of close, which I think is okay. But it's a little bit uncomfortable when you're not experienced.
When you're new at it.
Yeah.
Like, we have a concept of how it's done, but we've really only done it maybe 10, 15 times now, max.
Yeah. But we know that when we swing, the other boats will swing. That was kind of a concept to wrap my head around initially, thinking, we are spinning and we're going to be hitting other boats, but of course the other boats will also be spinning.
Yep.
So, yeah, so now we are going to take a break.
A 2 or 3 day break. Some bad weather moving in. It's not bad, I guess. It's going to be mid-80s and sunny, but it comes with a lot of wind. So they're talking about gusts tomorrow of 30 miles an hour. It's a little too much for us to be comfortable in. So we'll just sit it out here. We have a great, very protected anchorage. We're only exposed from the east, and even that has a little bit of break in that park over there. We have a park. We can get the dog in the dinghy and go over there and hang out. So it's going to be a good place, we think, to spend a couple days.
Yeah, and we still have a week to get to Key Biscayne.
Right.
So we should be good to go to rest here for a little bit, wait for the wind to die down again, and then we are on our way.
Yeah. Sunrise Bay was a great Fort Lauderdale anchorage and is well protected from the wind and the current. Shore access is limited, however, so after a couple days, we were ready to leave.
So we are actually gonna go to Dinner Key today. We called Crandon, which is a marina north on Key Biscayne, and we were told that we had to call them the day of, which we did right when they opened at 8 o'clock, and they don't have any slips available. They do have a nice mooring field, but that's for sailboats only. So yeah, we had to go with Plan B, which is a Dinner Key that's on the other side of Key Biscayne, on the mainland. So it's not far from Key Biscayne, so we can just basically just go straight over the water there into No Name Harbor, which is our final destination for the next week. So today we're gonna go down to Dinner Key and be on a mooring ball. They didn't have any slips either, and get some stuff done for the boat, so that way we are ready for this coming week. So no wind today, makes it very easy to keep the boat still. There is wind out, but we're in this little bay, very protected, so it's very simple. Just waiting for Darren to get the anchor up. So today we are thinking about going outside because it is a calm day. It makes me nervous.
I think we'll make the decision when we get to the inlet. Should we go left? Should we go right?
We have both routes made.
Yeah.
And the inlets are big. It's the Port Everglades, which is the huge one in Miami that cruise ships go in and out of. So it's definitely it has the depth, but it also has the big ship traffic.
Yeah, well, that's the same for the one here in Fort Lauderdale. It's also a big cruise terminal.
Yeah,
so
they
I
both.
mean, there's no doubt we have plenty of space and plenty of depth. Yeah, so a little bit nervous now going out of the inlet here in Fort Lauderdale. Just had a little run-in with a barge. Not even a barge, a big container ship. All good. We tried to go to its port side, but it wanted to starboard. Really easy fix, no big deal, not dangerous, but a little, first time for us. So now we got another big boat coming in. There's boats on each side of this channel. We're on the right side, so I think we're in good shape, but this boat doesn't seem to be happy with it. He's blowing his horn. Fortunately, it turns out the big boat wasn't blowing his horn at us, and we slipped out of the inlet and into the Atlantic with no additional drama. Next stop, Biscayne Bay.
Siempre a medias no he logrado encontrar mi otra mitad. El tiempo dirá, el tiempo dirá. Y cuando la encuentre de ti no me voy a acordar. El día que me falte tu piel, ¿qué será? ¿Qué será de mí? No seas parte de mi amanecer. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será?
So Monica, how you feel about being in the ocean?
I feel very little. This is not the first time that we've been in the ocean, but I I guess the more we know, or the more I know, the more nervous I get. You would think it would be opposite, but now I know what can go wrong and all the things we don't know. So something to be said for that. But overall, it's so far so good. Fingers crossed that we'll get into the next inlet without any issues.
Prefiero otra mujer, chica, si te vas y juegas otro papel que nunca te quedará, como eso de serme fiel. El día que me faltes